Alright, on this lesson you're going to see me using a little bit of corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent, but on this first problem that's not going to apply. My end goal is to show that the two triangles are in fact congruent. Where I'm going to start here is the fact that segment XQ is parallel to segment TR, as is already marked on the diagram with these arrows. Typically with these proofs, if you see parallel lines, a lot of times, not always, but it's usually alternate interior angles that you're using here. And what you would have is that angle Q would be congruent to angle T. You can say I went ahead and labeled that on the diagram here. QT was the transversal between the parallel lines, and that it was on different sides of that transversal between the parallel lines. You can see I also made a quick list of the different ways I got to show my triangles are congruent. I'll get to that in just a second. But I'm going to go ahead and write in that the justification for the angles being congruent was alternate interior angles theorem. And there's also another pair of alternate interior angles here, which would be angles X and R, because the transversal XR is going between the parallel lines as well. So I'm going to include those in statement 2 as well because of the same justification. Now, looking through my proof, I see that I've actually got two pairs of angles congruent. I'm actually going to scratch side, 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 and side, angle, side away from ways I'm going to prove the triangle's congruent. It's going to be angle, side, angle, or angle, side. But I've not shown a pair of sides to be congruent, so I need to do that. That's where my other given's going to come in handy. Segment XR bisects segment QT. So what that means is that QT is being split into two equal parts, being segment TM and segment MQ. I'm going to go ahead and put that in my proof. Segment QM is congruent to segment MT. What I used there was the definition of a bisector. Now if you want to get technical, that should be segment bisector, but I'm just writing it like that. Now I'm ready to wrap this proof up, because this is now angle, angle, side. The reason why I know that is when I look at the two angles on each triangle, the side is not between those two angles, angles X and angle Q. And this segment is not between angles T and R, or else it would have been segment TR. So as it is, I'm going to use angle, angle, side to show my two triangles are congruent, being triangle XMQ and triangle RMT, which is what my original proof was to do. This is finished. Alright, on this particular proof, I'm actually going to be showing that these parts are congruent. So I'm going to be using corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. As I abbreviated in class, it's CPCTC. To do that, however, I'm going to have to show that triangles are congruent in order to say that. So I'm still going to be showing the triangles are congruent, so I'm still either going to be using side, 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 angle, side, angle, or angle, angle, side. So I make my quick list, and now I start identifying things. I do have one pair of sides congruent according to the given, and it's already been marked on the diagram, but that doesn't eliminate any of these because they all involve a pair of sides. Moving on to step 2, where I would go is I'd actually use the parallel lines here. So if I have these parallel lines, the transversal connecting them is MT. So that would make angle ATM, which I have to use 3 letters to name this angle because there's more than one angle located at T. So I called it angle ATM. Could have also been called angle MTA. That angle has to match angle TMR. Or you could have called that angle RMT. And now I'm going to call those alternate interior angles theorem yet again. So if you don't have parallel lines, don't use alternate interior angles. If you do, use them. Now I've marked both those angles on there. Because there's an angle, you can see I've actually scratched out side, side, side. Not going to be that because there was one pair of angles. Could still be the rest of these. I do need something else though. In a situation like this where both triangles have a common side, you're going to want to mark that as being congruent. So in this case, segment MT is congruent to segment MT. And that is because of the reflexive property. Really popular one to see in these proofs is reflexive property when there's a common side like you have here. Alright, now I've got two pairs of sides and one pair of angles shown to be congruent. That means it's going to be side, angle, side. And the angle is between the two sides that are congruent. So I'm going to go ahead and write in side angle side for the triangles MTR. Now I just named the first one whatever, but now I've got to be really careful on the second one. M in this triangle corresponds with point T in the other triangle. T in the first triangle right here corresponds with point M in the other triangle. And then R corresponds with A. So you have to be really careful naming these triangles on the second one to make sure it matches the first. Now we're ready to wrap up this proof because with the angles here, RTM will actually correspond with AMT. AMT. See how it went from third to first? On both of them, that's what's supposed to happen because they correspond. So the angles are congruent because corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Now, as far as what you need to know for the assignment, one of the problems involves using CPCTC, and then there's one extra step where you'll use definition of a segment bisector to wrap up the proof. So it is a little bit different than what I've got here on the example. Let me know what questions you have. Thanks.